Good evening, welcome everyone. We are live here at the 2025 Chopin Piano Competition in Warsaw, Poland. This is the fifth day of the first round. We are at the final moments of this exciting round, and we have just 4 pianists left to play after this intermission. My name is Rachel Naomi Kudo. I have had the immense pleasure to be here for the past 5 days and to witness these amazing performances, and I would love to introduce to you 4 of our very talented and gifted pianists who have completed their first round performances. Hao-Wei Lin from Taiwan, Pedro Lopez Salas, Ruben Micieli, and Tiankun Ma, and also very kindly your teacher joined us to help a little bit with the language. Yaming Huang, thank you so much for being here. Guys, it's your first round has been completed. How do you feel? Can you share with us how it felt to be on that big stage? Do you feel happy with your performance? Were you as nervous as you thought you might be? How did you feel?
For me, like the most nervous part is like before going on stage, it's really nervous. Like so many cameras are filming, but like when I go on stage and touch the piano, I just feel like I just enjoy this like beautiful hall and this atmosphere here. So I just quite relaxed actually.
That's great.
Yes, I think a bit more or less the same than he would like. The toughest moment is always before getting on stage. It's a very difficult moment. Once you are there, you can start enjoying the hall. The acoustic here is great. Yes, I think I tried to enjoy it as much as I could, of course.
I totally agree with the guys. I think, of course, the adrenaline kicks in before the performance is always very high, and we know this. I mean, it's probably the biggest competition there is right now, or one of the biggest competitions. So really you feel it, but I also try to enjoy as much as I could, and I try to feel the audience, to feel the hall, and take it all in.
因为我第一次来这个肖赛的舞台，我觉得首先还是非常激动吧。然后也是其实，在上台演奏的时候还是很紧张的，但是呢，我希望通过我的音乐，然后能够打动观众，也打动我自己。对。
For me, it's the first time come to this big Chopin competition, and I'm very exciting. Actually, in the first, before on the stage, a little bit nervous. But when I go to the stage, I feel I want to use my music to touch the audience, through my thoughts of the music.
So the need to communicate really takes us over, which as musicians, it's kind of our life. Was there anything on stage, the feeling, maybe, I loved what you said about feeling the audience, but maybe something that surprised you, maybe the way you played also, but this special experience, was there something like that you didn't predict?
I think between each pieces, the coughing part is the most surprising part, because like in other competition, like I haven't heard like so many coughing like during each pieces, so which is quite interesting, but for me it's also a bit disturbing.
Do you guys agree?
Well, I think, as you mentioned before we were talking, when you go on stage, and especially on such a big scenario as this is, you want to enjoy your music, you want to do your best, and there's also a lot of new things that comes with that, right? Like at the moment you feel you are doing something on stage that you've never planned before, and it's just totally spontaneous and fresh. And yeah, and I like these things, and I like to remember about them.
I'm gonna talk about the coughing too, because actually for me it was very funny. It almost made me laugh meanwhile I was playing. And it actually gave me the chance to to maybe take down a little bit the pressure, because you know people comes in concerts like always, and it's still at the end, yes, it's a competition, but it's still we try to make music. They love Chopin music, so we try to make music for them, and we try to share something that is deeper than just trying to play as best as we can. We're just trying to share some ideas or maybe just some emotions that we feel that are strongly inside of us, and then maybe other people could be part of it.
我觉得我最大的感受，不一样的感受就是，在波兰在华沙演奏肖邦的感觉是不一样的，因为我在很多地方都演奏过肖邦，但是尤其是在华沙，就是肖邦心脏就是安放的地方，所以我觉得这种感觉吧，更让我一种情感上的一种对这种感受。
For me, it's very special to play Chopin's music in Poland, in Warsaw. And here is Chopin's hometown, and his heart is here. So for me, it's a very different feeling. I played Chopin's music in many other countries, other cities. But in Poland, I have very special emotion here. For me, it's a very special experience, very cherished.
Would you agree with that? Being in Poland is something different.
To play his music here, it makes everything special.
I see. So when did you first hear about the Chopin competition? Do you have any memories? Were you very young? Did you hear, you know, a CD of a former past prize winner, or maybe on YouTube, as a lot of our you know, pianists and younger generation, they've been inspired by hearing about it. Can you share us?
I think like I heard Chopin competition like when I was like 10, around 10, and then, but I haven't thought about participating in it because it's quite far for me at that time. But I considered participating in Chopin competition like 4 years ago, and then this time like I finally made to the main stage, so which is good. This my dream come true. Yeah.
For me, it's more or less the same. I was listening about the Chopin competition when I was around 10, 11. This is the first time I took part in the competition. And yes, I remember when I was a child, it was kind of a dream, right? When we saw the YouTube videos, it was like the Olympics for piano, and it was kind of a dream to someday be here. I discovered I was going to come here when I won the second prize at the Piotrkiewicz competition, the last edition. That granted me the direct access to here, so I was very happy about it, and yes, I'm very happy to be here. It's such a privilege.
For me, it was 2010, the year of Valentina Deva, Danil Trifonov, all these people. I think it was the year in which Chopin competition mediatically became very famous with all the social media. And I always said, I hope to be there one day. And then it was 2015, I said, I'm probably going to try, but it was too late because I didn't have the repertoire. Then it was 2021, which actually was 2020, and it was the same problem. I didn't have. This time I said, I'm too old, I'm 28, so whether I try now or I don't try anymore. So I said, I have to try, at least apply and see how it goes. And happily, he went at least now, until now, for the first round to play in this wonderful building. It was a dream, and it's a dream to be playing here.
我第一次听到这个肖邦比赛就是2015年的这个肖邦比赛，但是令我印象最深刻的实际上是2021年的比赛，因为当时赶上这个疫情，所以呢我其实也是见证了Bruce 刘的这个夺冠，然后也看到我们中国选手这次也来比赛的这个饶浩这个精彩的演奏，对这个令我印象很深刻。
For me, the first knew about Chopin competition is 2015, but 2020, 21st, Yeah, actually. And that time, because it's a special time, and we have the time to watching the whole competition. And I also the Chinese competitor Hao-Rao, he was played here, brilliant here. I look the whole competition. For me, it's that time is for me is very impressed. So and this time we come and we have a lot of Chinese competitors.
Yes. Fabulous. So one of the things that happens in international piano competitions, not all the time, but definitely here, is that you get a selection of pianos. And for us pianists, because we don't travel with our own instrument usually, that's quite a luxury. Usually we play whatever's on stage, and we'll have to make the most of it even if we're unfamiliar. But for this edition, we actually had 5 different piano makers and 15 minutes to make your choice. And we are so grateful because you have all chosen different pianos. And Tiankun, I have to just select you a little, single you out, because you're one of the 2 pianists who chose the Bechstein. And it's their first time to be in this event. And of course, 2 is the smallest number, but you were one of them. So could you tell us, were you familiar with the instrument or had you played them before? What was your experience during your selection? Also, we have to remind the viewers that usually also you could have maybe friends listening, teachers, people that could give you a little bit of feedback about how you sound in the hall. Because I think a lot of times we feel a certain way and the sound of the piano is a certain way on stage, but how it sounds in the hall is a completely different story. So you had to select it on your own without anybody else's feedback. So Tiankun, is it okay if I start with you by asking how was the selection process for you?
我觉得就是当然在我选琴的时候，其实我也是没有想到我会选择贝希斯坦，因为在这5台琴中，5台琴都是非常好的琴，但是呢，其实贝希斯坦给我的感觉是更适合肖邦，也更适合这个音乐厅，而且最重要的可能是更适合我自己。所以其实我选择贝希斯坦呢，也并没有其他的原因。我觉得对我个人来说，就是我对这台琴可能是更适合表现我的音乐，也更适合表现肖邦的音乐。对我来说，对。
Actually, when I was on the stage to choose the piano, I didn't expect I will choose Bechstein because these 5 pianos, everyone is excellent. But I feel Bechstein maybe for me is very suitable for me, and also I think it's very suitable for the Chopin's music and also for this hall, I think. So I chose the Bechstein.
Was it something about the sound then more than the touch or feel, do you think?
我觉得贝希斯坦和这个其他的4台琴的手感、触键都是不一样的。我觉得最大的不同点是它比较轻，琴键比较轻。然后声音上呢，我觉得高音是非常漂亮。然后整体的感觉我觉得非常适合弹肖邦的作品，对，这也是我选贝希斯坦的一个主要的原因吧。
Yeah, I think for the touch, it's very different. It's actually light touch, and also I think it has very beautiful the high part. The sound is very, very good. For me, I think this Bechstein is very good for the Chopin's music, so that's why I choose it.
I see. And Yameng, you were telling me that you've been his teacher for almost 10 years?
Almost, yes.
So you've known him taught him since he was 8 years old. That's incredible. You must be so proud. But when he told you that he chose Bechstein, what was your reaction, or do you remember how you?
Yeah. For me, I very know about Bechstein, but but I didn't give him any comment.
Yeah.
I hope he feel
Yes,
better.
of course.
For him, it's the best.
Yes.
So he chose it.
Yes.
Well, I chose Steinway, and I think for the same reason, Tiankun, which was what Chopin music would feel with that piano. And of course, I tried them all. I have to say the 15 minutes was very little. It was like a run through each piano. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't sure at the end, because I also liked Yamaha, I also liked Fazioli, but then at the end I had to choose with my soul at the end, what could speak my voice, because at the end, as you said, we cannot bring our piano. That means that every single time we have to adjust with what the piano is telling us. And so I think at the end, the voice of Steinway for me was the best one for Chopin, and that's why I chose. But it was hard. And actually, the day after was even harder, because the more I thought, the more I said, did I choose well?
I see.
Did I choose well? At the end, I was very happy with my choice after I played, but it was tricky. It was tricky.
I can imagine. Pedro?
Yes, I chose Fazioli, and I think we are all going to say the same, but it's true. I felt most comfortable on it, and I thought it was very suitable for Chopin music. I felt at the end you need to see what you feel like with the piano, because in this case these 5 pianos, they were all excellent pianos, and of course when you only have 15 minutes it's very tough, because you just run from one piano to another, you play one passage and then you think, oh, this passage sounds good here but the other sounds good there, so but I cannot have both. So at the end you just decide with your heart and what you feel most comfortable with, and I thought I felt very comfortable with this instrument, this Fazioli. I think it's very, very nice, and I need to say it was not an easy decision, because they were all very good pianos, and it was a very tough decision actually, but at the end it was what I felt.
Yes. Go with your heart.
I only tried Steinway and Yamaha. So I just choose from these 2 brands because I'm most familiar with these 2 big piano. And then I think I just try a bit Yamaha, and then I just thought, oh, I need to choose Steinway.
I see.
So I just chose Steinway immediately.
Yes, 15 minutes is it's very little.
Yeah, I cannot try 15 minutes for 5 brands.
Yes,
Yeah.
maybe we can encourage the competition for next time to give a little bit more time. So
Maybe 1 hour.
that would be nice. Yeah, why not? You could come in much earlier.
5 pianos is a lot.
Yes, it is a lot. Usually 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
This time was 5. So, but what a luxury, I have to say.
Yes.
Yeah, because they were all really excellent instruments. Let's talk a little bit about repertoire. So there are some comments that for the first round especially, the repertoire has been restricted more than in the past. In previous editions, you could choose also from 4 scherzi, but this time the major piece, let's say, of your first round was between the fantasy, the barcarolle, and the 4 ballades. And I'd love to ask each of you what propelled you to choose your pieces, because also each of you chose different ones, and I love them all, but to have your main piece, repertoire is such a big decision, and that's, I think, something you really think about for a long time. You don't just write it down and say that's it, but you really want to feel comfortable and hope that it reflects the best of your abilities, I think. So barcarolle, Pedro, which is for example, a very late piece. A second ballade, right? A 4th ballade, and the fantasy. So, who wants to go first?
I'm gonna start.
Yeah, sure.
I think at the beginning, the first round is probably the most difficult, because you have to really acclimate with the audience, with the piano that you tried for very little, and with everything. And I actually thought until I think it was August, if I wanted to play second ballade or maybe 3rd in the first round, because I'm gonna play also the 3rd ballade. And at the end I chose what I felt most comfortable and what I felt like it could have been the best way to express myself as a first round, because I think it's like also, you know, it's 4 rounds is a lot, so somehow you have to manage also to build like some kind of a big picture. And that's why at the end I chose second ballad, because I felt it gave me the right skills and possibilities, emotionally speaking, to give some insight of who I am. And yeah, that's it.
So there was Athena, I believe, who mentioned that she resonated with the second ballade because of a little bit, you know, the characteristic of Schumann in there.
Oh, absolutely.
The polarity.
I totally agree. Yeah, the dualism for me is like in the core.
And I imagine you also compose, right?
And conduct.
And conduct. So maybe that's also because when you compose, that is such a grueling process, I'm sure.
It's terribly difficult,
Yeah.
and it gives you so much trouble because it's like practicing, but in a different way. Because you spend so much time, then you finish, and sometimes you say, it's terrible.
Trash. Yeah, you throw it out. Yeah.
It's terrible, so it helped very much. But the dualism of the second ballad, actually, I feel it very deeply, and is one of the reasons I also chose it to play.
I see. Pedro, you chose the Barcarolle.
I chose the Barcarolle.
Yes, which is my favorite piece.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
tell us why you chose it.
Well, it's also probably one of my favorites of Chopin. I actually enjoyed quite a lot practicing it and preparing it for the competition. I remember since I was very little, I used to listen to it a lot. I remember walking around my hometown with headphones, listening to it. So it's a piece I feel very emotionally attached to it. I think it's an amazing work. All the colors, all the richness in this work. So that's why I chose it. Yeah.
May I ask whose recording that was you were listening to?
Actually, when I was a child, I was listening to Cameraman recording of it because I remember I remember listening to it. Then some years later, I was still little, but just not that little. I remember I was listening to Trifonov when he played here in the Chopin competition. I remember somehow I liked this performance very much, and it was very, very touching for me. I will need to listen again now. It's been ages I don't listen to this recording, but
it's still beautiful.
I'm pretty sure. I guess it's still very beautiful because I used to love it.
Yeah. Also on the Fazioli, he played.
Also on the Fazioli, exactly.
I remember that.
Exactly.
What about you? You chose the fourth ballade.
其实这4首叙事曲，其实我都特别喜欢，但是我觉得第4首是最特殊的一首，因为Opus 52也是作品号比较靠后的。我觉得在那个时间段吧，肖邦他的这个心境，包括他自己的内心的一些挣扎，一些这种复杂的情绪，我觉得在这首曲子里面其实很好的去体现了。那么我觉得这也是就是让我想去探索它，想去钻研这首曲子的一个原因。
For me, the fourth ballad is my favorite piece of Chopin. But this fourth and this is the late Chopin's late works. In this piece, and he has a very special feeling, and also the very many complicated struggle, different emotions. For me, it's very fascinating to explore what happened here. So I like to search this piece.
Absolutely. And the fantasy. Another big piece.
I think I put fantasy in my first round because I want to show the variety of the style, like there are march and then also very fantasy part. So because I'm choosing between fantasy and then ballad number 3, but I finally choose fantasy because I want to show my variety of style playing, because in the first round we only have 4 pieces, so I think I need to choose a longer one and then which can show more about my playing.
I I see. So we just have 2 minutes until the next performer starts. But let me ask you, what has Chopin taught? What has Chopin taught you? Because I think to be in this, I mean, if you can say in just a sentence, to immerse yourself in his music, to be so close with him,
最打动你的
has
肖邦
has
的
he
任何一个点。
opened up your mind or maybe taught you anything?
For me, it was authenticity. Try to be as much as authentic as you can be.
Not copy anybody.
Yeah, because his music is too pure. You really have to be yourself, 100%.
Pedro?
Yeah, for me it has been, I would say, even a therapeutic a process, because it really makes you feel immersed in in all of these emotions, and it's really great. You can express it through his music.
Okay, one sentence, sorry.
Like I learned a lot of like how to be like more sophisticated, like during
The elegance.
elegance
Yes,
of
yes.
the playing.
His style. And one
就是
sentence.
复杂的一种情绪的表达。
The very complicated feeling how to express.
How to express, yes, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us. We are returning to the performances. Please enjoy the final 4 performers of the first round of the Chopin piano competition.